Hi everybody, welcome to another weekly ramble. I am your host, Scuba Steve. Now, let's just jump right into it. There's not been much news for YouTube over the last week or so. I'm just going to gloss over the fact that Logan Paul's returned and he's made a new video because let's just put him behind us all. There really is nothing to say about him. So I'm going to do what was originally planned for last week's vlog, for last week's ramble. Update is all on how I came to take a year plus leave from YouTube, from the platform. And it all started round about the end of 2015. Like around about August/September of 2015, where I was entering my second year of my HND in college. With it being my second year, I needed to really knuckle down and get the work done. Being able to juggle college, a social life, and YouTube, it was proving difficult with the amount of work I needed to do for college, so I had to drop YouTube. Now this started a chain reaction of events that I'd get into in a minute or two. But at the same time, the funds that I had of the student loan that I took out were starting to dwindle, so I had to think of a way to make money, so I could continue to go to college. And so I needed to look for a job, and I found one in November of 2015, thankfully. So I was able to have a wage and continue to get to college and study my HND. So my social life also had to suffer, as well as my activity here on YouTube. 2016 is where things get loopy. As I was working through my college work for my HND, my grandfather passed away at the start of May, 2 weeks before I was due to give a presentation that in my course was known as the graded unit presentation. And this presentation was basically it was a presentation built of various projects that I'd made and recorded over the course of the 1 to 2 years of my HND. So my grandfather passed away 2 weeks before I was due to give that presentation, and that was where I personally, mentally, I took a big hit, because he was one of the most influential people in my life, one of the most influential family members that I'd prided myself in knowing, giving me my deep-seated love for sleight of hand and magic, teaching me how to whistle, teaching me how to tie a tie. He was a great man. So after the funeral, and I tried to get back into the flow of doing college work and grinding to get the presentation sorted for my college course. I knew full well I still had other assignments and projects to remediate and fix and submit in order to pass my HND. So I knew that even though the biggest project and biggest presentation of the course was right on my doorstep, I still had stuff to fix and sort afterwards. So I knew I still had to keep my foot on the pedal. So the presentation came and it went. I passed, and I got my head down and I started working on the stuff that needed fixed, the stuff that needed sorted and resubmitted and finished. At the start of June, an uncle of mine passed away from cancer. Not, he wasn't as influential in my life. He wasn't as close a family member as my grandfather was to me, so it wasn't as big of a hit to me emotionally and mentally, but it still hit me pretty hard. Two family members passing away in like a month between one another. It hits you hard. So when I finished, I went to the funeral, and even after my uncle's funeral, I still had a couple of things to finish and sort. I got to the point where I finished them. I submitted all the coursework that I needed to resubmit, and I got home and I sat and I said to myself, I can't do this. I just can't. I've finished college, but I just can't do anything else. I didn't have the motivation, I didn't have the mindset, I didn't have the heart to get back into YouTube. So I didn't try to get my way back into doing this. I met up with an old school friend of mine in September of 2016. We started dating again, and it's good. It is absolutely brilliant. I needed her there, because I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do when I finished college. The only thing that was a constant in my life at that point was work. I got more shifts at my work, so more of my time was taken up with work. And that was the only thing I could really focus on until September, when I started dating again. And it's been quite the journey over 2017 to slowly think. I spent a lot of 2017 working and getting things back together in my head, and I spent a lot of time thinking, what can I do for YouTube? I need to get back into it. I wish I could get back into it. And so I thought long and hard over months and months about what I should do with YouTube, and round about the end of September, start of October, I thought, right, this is what needs to happen, this is what I can do. I've explored in my mind these many avenues I can walk down on how to re-enter YouTube, how to come back to it, how to approach it, and this is the best course of action. Doing a weekly Ramble series and getting back into Nightcore, putting up at least one a week. It's not as much, it's not a big thing to do every week, but it's something to say, here, I'm back, I am here to stay, and I'm going to stay here for as long as I can, because I love the platform. I've found the motivation, the heart to get back into being a content creator again. After what happened back in 2016. And that's more or less it. That's why there has been such a long absence from myself on this channel. That's why I didn't upload content. I had a huge workload from college and a massive deficit of motivation and heart to be a content creator and to be a YouTuber. But I found that again. And I'm glad I have. As tiring as it may be to set up the camera and the microphone on a weekly basis, on top of the hours upon hours of work that I do every week, it's good. It's what I like doing. I like doing it and I want to keep doing it. Now, in terms of next week, I have no idea what the ramble could be about. If there's any news that comes up on YouTube, I'll be more than happy to go over it. I could do like a general news thing where I could look at what small minor things have happened on the platform or on the net that could be interesting to me and to you guys. I could do that. And if one big news story does not break out next week, then sure enough, that's what I'll probably do. But until then, expect another night course sometime next week. Hopefully not as late as a Saturday morning at like 5 in the morning. Hopefully not as late as that. Maybe, hopefully sometime around about Thursday night or Friday night. That's a good bracket for me to try and get a night core in every week. A Thursday night or a Friday night. Most likely the Thursday night. Okay? Expect something around about then. Next week. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. Peace!